All right. I'm live. Peace, family. And greetings to anyone listening long after the broadcast shuts down. We're not my king nor I are the type of folks who like to stay up here for 8 long hours, although we could. And I know when it comes to what I'm going to share with you, family, I surely could stay up here for hours and hours myself because it's just, whoa, it's deep. Um, and so greetings to anyone who's coming in. Hey, Sister Gwen B, how are you? Oh, my king is a guest on this live because he's going to be able to fill in portions of this which are not my like focus, and that's a beautiful thing because he understands the anime cartoon aspect of it. He knows the names of the people who created the Black Panther and other things that I might not know and definitely don't know. And it's so comprehensive, the subject matter, because it touches on everything and all things touch on all things. It's all connected. But for me, what I just had to come on here. Oh, you're welcome, sis. I'm glad to hear that you're great. That's a beautiful thing. Um, what I brother Iapo today on the comments, and this is almost impromptu for me, so much so that I've just got tabs and tabs open here because there's so much to uh, focus on what he shared. But when he did, I was just stunned. I was stunned. And so I thank Brother Yapo for sharing this article that I already opened up the tab on, where more younger people are being diagnosed with advanced colon cancer. And then they do that thing that these scientists always do when things are dying. They say it's a mystery. The scientists are baffled. Now it's not clear why all these young people are dying from colon cancer. Now, I want to clarify so that we can precisely pinpoint the origin of this, the differences in overall trajectories, because people will say things like, I'm not denying that all of these things can be of a factor, such as the GMOs and the glyphosate from Monsanto, the pesticide that they use, which is highly carcinogenic and toxic. However, when I think about that brother, I was so happy that he won that lawsuit in California. And he was a gardener, a landscaper outside, and he attributed his cancer to Monsanto's glyphosate, which he used liberally, which I'm not saying didn't cause his cancer, could not. That consideration can't be removed from the realm of possibilities, but the fact that it just went so daggone public. I've noticed over 10 years I've been doing what I do, that when things become extremely well known, they're suspicious. Because on the other hand, there were the USS Ronald Reagan sailors who couldn't get a day in US courts, let alone have the horrific maladies that they suffered from being stationed 1 mile off of Fukushima. It was the Todahachi. I might be getting the Tomodachi. Tomodachi. Um, just that was the name of the mission that they were on, and they were told to go and rescue anyone who might be in the waters. I don't know who would have been in the waters 1 mile off and still living, but they were stationed that close, right in the direct plume. I've shown that video so much where you just go to the National Oceanic Atmospheric National Ocean and Atmospheric Agency. I can't remember what the name is specifically, but the Fukushima nuclear projection map that they have, and you can see it for yourself. And they were right in the depth of that plume. And that wasn't highlighted in the media whatsoever. But this brother, and I'm happy for him. I don't want, because stuff can make it seem as if you're trying to be mean, and they'll spin stuff to make it seem as if you just wanting the truth and complete freedom for our people, that you're the mean one. When these people killing everything moving, and folks will trust them first and foremost. So those poor sailors, they're almost all dead now. They're almost all dead. And they end their fight. And it was even a black lawyer they hired to fight for them. They had to go to Japan to fight there. They lost over there too, right? Where they were trying to blame TEPCO for their maladies. And it was all very convoluted, the argument. That's because they just should have been suing the United States government, but it was thrown out of court, of course. Okay. So their story never reached the news. But I paid close attention. I could go over the details, even if I can't remember the names, and I could do the research in my own archives and find everything. They never hit anybody's main headlines, right? And so all that to say that they're giving us a bunch of false narratives so that we won't know where all these cancers are coming from. So I said to my king about this, I was horrified to see this, that this is proof that jab ain't the cause of what's going on, because ain't nobody being jabbed just in their colons. Okay? That concoction, which I don't know if I still can mention how disgusting the stuff is in that concoction. It was jabbed directly in the people's bloodstreams. It bypassed the colon, which should be healthy enough that you, any small contagion that hits you coming through your food ain't going to be of any problem. Even radiation is of no problem if you're eating correctly. And that's where my king's is his detox formulas come in so mightily, because it moves out all the crap that's coating your, I don't know, the lipids that are in your stomach. He knows that stuff better than I do. But if you're getting that nutrients, those nutritional components into your blood, into your organs, then the radiation is going to be rejected.
This is a whole joke. Peace. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. He's my king.
The whole article is a joke. It's like more younger people being diagnosed with advanced colon cancer. It's not clear why. Dude, they don't eat at home, number one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They don't eat at home. What are they eating? You grew up on Hot Pockets. You have colon cancer too.
Yeah, that's true.
Hot Pockets and Chinese food and fast food. You would have colon cancer too.
But you have everything else cancer too.
Exactly. Exactly. It ain't just the colon. It's just where it showed up first.
Well, that's why I know it's the radiation, because that those isotopes are incinerating. They're hot. They're fire on a subatomic level, and thereby, first off, if your system is coated, it's probably only bringing in so much of the radiation in the first place, and it's certainly not sloughing off anything that's toxic out of your system. It's just lingering in your intestines. And that pinging, that one atom of radiation destroys everything around it for 20 cells deep. When you have 20 cells deep worth of damage, that is enough to start a tumor, to start a cancer. And so that's how I know, because these are the very things that impacted the people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, where their whole intestines, women would squat one last time. I'm trying to look for the word besides the SH word, but would defecate out their entire internal intestines, their guts, yeah. And then they would die because they were still.
That just means all the bonds that were holding everything in place were destroyed.
Yeah,
They
that's
literally
true. That's true.
fall out.
Oh yeah, all their muscle
That means
structure.
everything just fell apart.
Yeah.
And rotted away. That's all it means, because those things are held in. Know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, you're not just running around. Guts are held in by tissue and tendons. It's a structure. Your body has a structure to keep it intact. So that means all these bonds, because all these bonds that held these cell walls together have basically been destroyed. That's what that means.
Yeah,
so
well,
just falls out. Yeah.
And they took in an extreme amount
aging.
of
Radiation's ages and breaks things apart.
Yeah. Well, they also, being right there, were exposed to a massive amount of external radiation on top of also eating, but they cut off studies after a certain parameter around the actual bomb drop zone. And then they just deliberately discounted testing what happened to the people who were eating the fallout further out. And so I just, also I want to ask, because it's my concern, it's never my king's concern, if you family can hear us. Let's see, let me get right here.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm asking. Even though that's a wonderful thing. It's something I never asked before, but now I do.
Stop being cheap. People is real cheap with the like button, like it cost them some money to press it or something. It's just ridiculous what's going on social media.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, they following you. If you watched it, they know you watched it. So you might as well just hit the like button.
Let me hit the like button myself.
They know you watched, looked at it. So you don't have to hit the like button to know you looked at something. That's the way social media works.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, right?
You ain't masking yourself by not hitting the like button. So hit the like button on Facebook, on Instagram. How do you think you're going to fight this stuff? You got to hit the like buttons so they can know that we don't care what you see, what we do or not. See, since you want to be shy and coy about everything, they, you know what I'm saying? So they just keep pressing you. You know what I'm saying?
Right? Because
let them know we don't care. You can't press me, bro. But I can press a like button. I can press a share button. I can press a save button. I mean, come on. It's like, I didn't get that mentality. You can't like nothing. That's weird.
I know. I'm not that way.
That's some scary, spooky stuff, right?
Yeah,
bro.
That is.
You just going to be a lurker? Just like stuff silently? What you on social media for? Go somewhere else. Go read a book. You can't even go to the library and like something without them noticing. You got to take it out. You got to check the book out.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what. But here, take it home. I guess if you read it in the library, they can not know you liked it. Really, I read it in the library. I didn't take it out.
I hid it between the stacks, up on the third floor.
I hid the book within the book and read it.
Right.
Come on, man. It's just childish now. You know it's just childish.
Right. So I'm taking it. Everybody can clearly hear. My king and myself. Yeah, I see that. So that's a beautiful thing. I just wanted to check for that because he's so calm. I'm so much more like anally, like just, oh, is this right? Is that right? And all the rest of it. So that's good to know. Okay, let's see. Okay, and peace, beloved sister Queen. I know who I am. It's so good to see you, beloved. I'm glad you could make it. All right, now let's get on back to all these different things that I was just sharing. But first, before we even do that, because you have the other info about Brother Chadwick Boseman and the Black Panther.
Oh, what other info?
Let me get my.
Oh, I never watched. I forgot. I didn't go and watch that clip. How he died. You talking about how he died in the movie?
No. Well, no. We could talk kind of passingly about that.
But, I didn't go watch it. I couldn't watch the Wakanda Forever. It was just too pathetic. I couldn't get past the opening scenes. It was like watching the Woman King. It was just too pathetic for me to even go. Like I can't. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. Couldn't watch it. I ain't like the first Black Panther, but I'm weird like that. I thought.
I didn't think that you were weird like that. I thought that was just reality.
Yeah, it was just it wasn't that good, bro.
Yeah,
who wants to watch? It's like Wakanda. It's like Star Wars. Don't get me started. It was just so bad.
Well, see, but what I want to say is that I think there was such a pronounced campaign to make us think that it was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, where people were like, I went to see it 3, 4, 5 times.
Why?
And I was like, why?
Though?
That
Why?
was, I know.
What was in that you couldn't remember that was worth remembering?
What was profound? Nothing.
Yeah, it's not like it was a deep movie. Nothing like I got to go back and watch it again because I missed some science. It wasn't no science.
There wasn't any.
It wasn't that much. If there was, it was just all, you know. And I'm not into that subtle stuff no more. You know what I mean?
Well, for me, and as I was watching it, I realized that the story was such a Edward Bernays psych out.
Yeah.
Where you had Killmonger and he shot his girlfriend, which is going to just make you feel like, oh, this.
It's a real black family.
There's a real black man who's going to save me and then shoot me right afterwards. And then he was a violent one. So he was the one who was all about separation.
Yeah.
And then he had all these little cuts on his skin for every person he killed.
Oh, yeah. I don't even remember that part.
I remember that part. And I was just like, this is some propaganda. Once again, to make just wanting to recognize we're separate people, make it seem like anybody who's pro-black wants to go out and just shoot everybody.
It's ridiculous because Wakanda is a separate nation.
It was supposed to be, but by the end of the movie with T'Challa, he's like, everybody come on in.
Wakanda was a separated, isolated nation. So it was like the perfect place for black people to grow and develop and build technology, supposedly. Because they were separate from the outside world. That was the beauty of Wakanda.
Yes. Destroyed at the end.
Yeah, come on, give me a break.
And they also had welcomed in this white, you know, cop or whatever.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, how did it turn from us against the world to us against us?
Yeah.
That was that. So for me, yeah, I know.
Generally sucks
anyway. But the thing that for me, that dovetails it with that article. With the colon cancer.
Yes.
Because in real life, that's what killed Chadwick Boseman.
Exactly. And that is like quiet as kept. I think that's like the most pathetic way you can go out as a young man, colon cancer. Like, bro, you constipated yourself to death?
Wow.
Like, really, bro? You was that backed up and constipated that you got, you know, it became cancerous? Like, bro, that's bad.
Yes.
And you got all that capital and you's a rich young man too? Bruh. That was like, damn, that's busted up, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
And I'm sure you went to the best white people available.
Oh, so many do.
And your ass died.
Yes.
No disrespect to family, but yeah, he went to the best white people that money can buy. And they took his money. They took his money.
And a lot of these doctors know that they're limited by law in the modalities if they're going to be accredited by the American Medical Association.
They work within
they can share.
They work within the system. Yes, they have modalities that if they knew a better way, they wouldn't give it to you. As you've seen, if they've had better options and didn't give them to you.
Yes. You've
seen it just play out over the last 2 years. They had better options than what they will be providing, but refused to give them to you just to prove this narrative.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Is exactly.
So that's what you're dealing with. So this stuff happens, and this ain't no new phenomenon that just happened over the last year. They've been doing that.
Yeah. And whenever if they need to, they will change the name of a disease in order to make it seem like it's something else altogether.
If you go to Sloan Kettering, you're going to get the traditional, quote unquote, cancer treatments.
Right.
There'll be no experimenting unless they do some experimenting that's based on what stuff they already working on.
Yes, they'll have cutting edge. We have a treatment for you.
Well, you have to
That's so ridiculous.
The cutting edge for cancer is called mRNA. That's the cutting edge treatment they're working on for cancer.
Yeah, I know. Which
mRNA.
It
doesn't work.
I know, of course. And
so they repurposed it for some other reason. I don't know what they would use it for. If they don't use it for cancer, what would they use mRNA with people for if they don't use it for cancer?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what they would use it for, but it didn't work as cancer treatment. So
yeah, in the meantime, it's in there changing your GMOing you as you are alive.
It's possibly if it works. The thing is, a lot of stuff they offer you don't even work. Know what I'm saying? That's the problem. They tout it up. The press is good. They got great press touting its viability and all that stuff like that, but a lot of that stuff don't even work.
Right.
But outside of a laboratory environment, a lot of that stuff don't work.
Well, before I forget,
a very controlled laboratory environment. Yes.
Before I forget what my point was, was in terms of Chadwick Boseman and his colon cancer.
Yes.
And the increase in young victims of colon cancer. This is not something that they didn't know, because this article is from 2014, just 3 years after Fukushima, and suddenly, what? 70% increase in cancer cases over next 20 years. And so they've known, but they never point out what's going to be the cause. Because this is my point with, when you're looking for the actual reason, you have to study the trajectory. Where did it all start off from? Were more people smoking cigarettes? No. As far as GMOs, they had introduced them into the global food stream.
In 1990s?
In 1990.
I don't know, 1990.
It was in 1990, but that was back. That was like a decade before the year came to a close.
Okay.
And when it comes to pollution, that's also global. There's no one particular, like place in California or the West Coast, they're more polluted than any place else on the planet. And also when it comes, because his beautiful sister, love the sister, said that when she was looking at the whales dying, now they're dying on the New Jersey coast, but they were dying before, in keeping with Fukushima and the die-off in the Pacific. I had mentioned that the Atlantic, I think it's called the North whales, have been dying years back, but way after all the whales in the Pacific started dying. So the sister said that it was because of the Wi-Fi. It's because of the 5G. They also said the same thing when it came to that whole made up whatever, and I can't say what. But I had said there's no Wi-Fi in the oceans. There are no cell towers in the oceans. And all of this started on the West Coast. So this thing they never, ever, ever mentioned, Fukushima, I said it was going to be enormous, because that's what radiation does. So I just, they had this whole, it's, let's see right here. Is it? No. Oh, but I could use this to prove that this is the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, which they're trying their best to do their spin on radiation, but they're using that false measurement that doesn't measure your radiation as you take it into your body, because one atom, if it's causing a cancer and you're eating a whole bunch of crap so you can't fight the cancer, then it's going to grow unchecked throughout your body. So here they say, since the double disaster of the 9.0 earthquake and tsunami that affected hundreds of thousands of people and seriously damaged, blah, 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 blah. They say minute traces. If you're eating it, it's no longer minute. You're getting full force gamma, beta, and alpha.
How much is a minute amount of death?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm only gonna have a little bit of death on that scene.
I like my death on toast.
Just a little pinch of death.
Yes, exactly. They have spread across the entire northern hemisphere. A monitoring network designed to detect signs of nuclear explosions picked up these traces from the stricken power plant. In all, more than 35 radionuclide stations that are part of the international monitoring system have provided information on the spread of radioactive particles and noble gases from the Fukushima accident. And then the next one down after that, spreading across the entire globe. And so this is like something they know about, but they need us to die faster. They need us to die faster because some of us are starting to ask questions. Some of us are getting that warning out, but that's why the FDA has just recently deactivated the import alert. They never said that there was no more radiation. They're not going to lie that boldly. That's why you got signs up in the West Coast in California. I have a beautiful sister queen who shared pictures with me of the warning signs on seafood. All the seafood is warnings that things in here might cause cancer, and we're not responsible. So they're not going to just come out and say, no, it's not radioactive anymore. They're just going to deactivate the import alert of all food that is grown in the Fukushima area. But at the same time, it's not like these decontamination bags are not right directly on the farms and that there's been little result from all that decontamination. And so when they say nearly 12,900 sites is still the same level of radiation, that means everywhere. And now, because we're not dying fast enough, for them, that article that Brother Yapo shared with me, that would be something disappointing for these guys, because they need almost all young people dying. These people are omniciders. They're not even genociders because they're killing every single thing. I'm not going to linger on, but I'm like Tom Sizemore's death, which was from cancer. And right now, they're getting it back to the old dark ages where you should just die by the time you're 40, according to them, right? If you make it that long. But Tom Size radiation also doesn't just cause cancer. They make sure they keep us infested with just delusions about what radiation causes. It just is a breakdown of your entire body structure. And so it causes everything, causes COPD, whole bunch of people. They got ads all over the place for, that black women, the creamy crack, the hair relaxers are causing cancer. No, they just have that out there so you will attribute what's happening from Fukushima fallout, nuclear fallout, as being caused by one particular thing. Rather than, no, brothers are not going to be immune to these same types of cancers. So they're putting all sorts of stuff out there in order to make us think it's that, including that jab, which if it's a rise in colon cancer, it's not the jab, which went directly into people's bloodstreams. But you'll see folks out there saying, oh, another sudden death, died unexpectedly. But nobody paid attention to me. All these same people, suddenly experts in science. But when I tried to get them to talk about stuff, they acted as if what? I'm too slow. I'm too slow to talk about stuff like you, Sister Ajali. Trust and believe. I am surely not the brightest candle in the bunch. Okay? I am not. I just hate killers and liars and genociders, and I love you. So that's the difference. Why I just keep going, and then slowly I say to myself, oh, wait a minute. Maybe there's books on this stuff. And then I find a whole slew of books which explain it and prove the U.S. military, the U.S. government has known about the carnage, the incinerating force of man-made radiation since Madame Curie. Right? When Madame Curie came for a visit, she was greeted like she was Charles Lindbergh. There was this ticker tape parade celebrating her because these people thought, the general public thought, radium was a health invigorator and they had drinks for it, Radiathor, all sorts of stuff. But then people started dropping dead. The radium girls, they started dropping dead from painting all the dials with radium. So by the time Madame Curie got here, do you know they gave her a gift of radium in a lead-lined box? I mean, it was inches thick. And that's when she first came here and the ticker tape parades were going. Because they knew. They knew. They knew about the radium girls and they lied about them. All white girls, they don't give a damn about their own. Tom Sizemore, I know he wasn't black. I know you know that too. They're dropping dead like flies. And the flies are just increasing. Okay? And so The fish. This is just such proof. I'm just going to roll through this one. State shutters most Cook Inlet king salmon fishing this summer. Unprecedented array of emergency closures. This is in the Pacific for the beautiful people who think, oh, it must be the Wi-Fi. Right? If it's the Wi-Fi ain't traveling. You tell me you could take your cell phone in the depths of the ocean and it's going to work. You're going to get a signal. No, you're not. Right? And so this is starting in the Pacific and it ain't the Wi-Fi. Right? So let me keep on going to the next one. Hunters on for 40 escaped farm salmon in Chile. I would hazard a guess that this was on purpose because they are in the habit of restocking natural environments with fish, the lakes and the rivers, because they don't want anybody to know. And so they caught 20,000 of these escaped farm salmon, but I'm sure there's probably even more that they didn't include in this tally. In order, because otherwise, I remember I was sharing pictures of starving polar bears. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh no, look, the polar bears are really big and fat and happy all over places like Daily Mail. No, that's because they're probably feeding them. They're probably feeding them to get them fat like that. They even got things like, who ever heard of it? Where you send in pictures of the fattest grizzly bear you can find. Why do they have to showcase that? Because a lot of grizzly bear aren't finding any food. That's why you find these predator animals circulating deeper and deeper into man-made territories. They know though the animals ain't stupid. They don't want to die. And they're going to get hungry and want to hunt, and they know the people still got some food. And so they're going into places and even grabbing up children. Right? So let's keep it going. 11 sharks wash up on South African beach, researchers say. Now, this isn't what it seems. Do you know that their livers were missing? This is something that they used to always do in the United States when they were testing nuclear bombs. And suddenly the farmers would go, the ranchers would go, and there'd be 10 head of cattle dead, and all their organs would be just removed precisely, surgically. Because they were testing for the radiation. Because a lot of these places are right next to nuclear facilities. And when it came to the atomic testing, the bomb testing, they were in the Midwest primarily. They called that region the downwinders because the people were coming down with all the things that radiation causes too. And they ain't give a damn about them. All a bunch of white people. Okay? And so these sharks here, look, they're going in. They got all that underwater equipment. They know how to do this crap. Going in and cutting out the livers. Why? Because the livers is the way your body detoxes toxins. It'd be the fastest route for them to test and see, oh, look, there's radiation in their livers because stuff is dying. And probably the people in South Africa in the government know what's going on. So they're just like, oh, okay, everything's going crazy right now. It's snowing in Africa. Okay. We got to test all these creatures that we just assume, oh no, the radiation stayed near Fukushima. But all you had to do is go to the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization and they would have told you the truth. All you had to do is come to my channel and I would have told you that the radiation is absorbed 10,000 times in the sea vegetation, so thereby it's going to be absorbed even more so the higher up the food chain you go. Anything I'm telling you, you could go and look it up, okay? I ain't lying to you. Discovery Islands farm salmon shortfall pressuring Maui. This is in the Maori now. This is the Maui First Nation Walmart contract. Who cares about the daggone contract? The Maui people are probably dying of cancers too. Okay, so this is the Inuit people that at least I know precursorily that it's all what were formerly known as Eskimos up in Alaska. And so they don't have any fish to give to the Walmart people. Isn't that that's crazy. And they're prefacing this whole headline as if it's all about the contract. No, the fish are gone. They're gone. Okay. On the next one, low 2023 salmon forecast likely to lead to fishery shutdown. You shut down when there's no damn fish. It's not a low forecast. It's nothing to count. Nothing to count anymore. Okay? So you're wondering why all the colon cancer in the youth? Young people are more directly affected by radiation than grown folk. Okay? So I recommend again, organic apple pectin. If you can't find organic, I don't recommend eating it, but you can't find organic. I'm going to have to eventually produce my own organic apple pectin. If you could do it before me, what, am I going to be upset because people are saving themselves? No, that's my whole point. But in the meantime, eventually, as we build, as you go buy our products on 25,000yearcycle.org, we could build up our lab so we could test our food and produce those things that I've learned from reading those books about radiation that they hide. Apple pectin through Chernobyl, through the work of Dr. Nesterenko and Dr. Bandashevsky, removes up to 65% of radiation from the children. It removed it. You could look it up. And they were silenced when they said, yeah, we got something. It doesn't interfere with other nutrients. That's a problem with other types of chelators, is that they can absorb even minerals and nutrients and vitamins that the children need. But the apple pectin doesn't do that. And so Nesterenko and Bandashevsky were just absolutely horrified that they were stymied. They were stymied from being able to get large supplies to give it to the children. But the good part is that it proves you could get this stuff out. Okay? And so why are so many whales getting beached on U.S. beaches? This is a new one where, they're saying, okay, are these whale strandings unusual? They'll lie and say, oh, no, it's not. There have been all sorts of strandings. Get the hell out of here. All this stuff started on the West Coast. And I've just been looking all over for different things. So I'll run into articles. But new highly radioactive particles found in Fukushima, because it creates new radiation, creates radiation. Radioactivity levels spiked 6,500 times at Fukushima well. Now, this is just to say, from those storage tanks, which I'm pretty sure they're not there anyway, they found high levels of strontium. I thought it was only supposed to be tritium in there. And tritium is also deadly. It's radioactive water. And they undervalue the damage, but it's hot. It's hotter than regular water. So how are you going to have natural cellular function in a liquid base that's degrees hotter than is optimal for life? That's going to impair every single system in your body. Every single function is going to be working at a lower capacity. Right? And everything, when you look at the weather systems that are changing, that's the tritium. It's all over the place. I have some map up here that shows exactly. Let's see, is that it? No, that's calories burned. Let's see. No. This is it, I think. Yeah, this is it. The International Atomic Energy Agency, the lying dogs that they are. Let's see. They might have stopped me from being able to. Oh, no. Okay, they didn't. Each one of these little dots here is where they went to test for radioactivity. So you could just pinpoint on a dot. There we go. And up comes what they found. Let's see now. Longitude, sampling depth, sampling results, nuclei, 3H, tritium. That's the symbol for tritium. 3H right there. Okay. It's all over the daggone place. And when you go up to the Arctic Circle, look at this. It gets off the charts right here, especially off of, places where there are nuclear facilities. But here comes Greenland. I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit slow, trying to get on up in here, right? It's just all over the place. There, I clicked on that dot, and there goes 3H. Tritium. Almost all these dots up here, tritium, 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 tritium. This is what's melting our polar ice caps. This is what's melting the ice sheets. This is why there's snow in not only California, but snow in Hawaii too. Because when you introduce into the natural ecosystem factors that are not supposed to be there in order to maintain equilibrium, it's going to change everything. Same as when you put ice cubes in your drink. It's going to change everything. So you've got sheets of coldness coming down because they're melting. And thereby they're making areas that would have never been cold before cold suddenly. It's not going to last that way because it's hot water. Eventually, it'll just melt. That's why they keep warning us, the seas are going to rise because they know about this stuff. That's the chemtrails are for this, in order to slow down the melting process. And they've been doing it since the 50s. They do it everywhere because they destroyed our planet everywhere with this stuff. All right. So going back. There's not only there's strontium in that water also, and no place to hide. Fukushima fallout findings widespread. As I say, I'm not going to stay and read all these. Radioactive iodine from Fukushima found in California kelp. It absorbs whatever's in the water 10,000 times. And when they say there's one type of nuclide, it has all of them. They all come together. They don't part ways and say, I'll see you later, plutonium. It's all in there, okay? And there may be traces of radioactive particles from Fukushima in your California red wine. This is from 2018, even before they decided that they were going to allow all food from Fukushima into the U.S. food stream. And so, where's this wine people are drinking? They got us on that serious Western civilization tip of what is, stellar civilized behavior. Being a friggin' drunk is not civilized behavior. I'm just saying, not everybody drinks wine is a drunkard. But at the same time, we're thinking human beings. We have to ponder all the factors and not respond out of just pure dog-eared habit. When you're an adult, you recognize I've got a job to do. You don't freak out and say, no, I'm not going to listen to that woman. She's crazy. And then did you see her king? She called him her king. Okay? Well, he's been teaching about melanin. Oh, my goodness. Okay? No. You just do what needs to be done, all right? So if it's in the wine, it's in everything. Was it the wine, when they pressed it, it wasn't in the grapes? That's how it got in there, because it's sitting out in the fields, taking in that radioactive rain. Okay? So let's see. Oh, I got that one already. Let's see. And the 70% increase in cancers all around the world. Oh, and here we go. The AMA, 2 years later, I do believe, told doctors stop overdiagnosing cancer. So in that article, they're saying more young people are being diagnosed with advanced colon cancer. That means it's pretty much, as far as they're concerned, a death sentence. When they say it's advanced, they mean, do you want hospice care on the east side of town or on the west side of town? And there's no in between. Even though cancer done been cured several ways over and over and over again. I could even go over all the different cures that are right at your fingertips, including baking soda, right? But don't take the baking soda on a regular basis because it's a salt and it will elevate your blood pressure. And if you have high blood pressure, don't do that. And by the way, according to Western society, I'm not a licensed physician, but my king, according to Arna society, he is. Okay. And so going back over to where I was, right over here. So yeah, overdiagnose. But then these young people are coming in with advanced stages of colon cancer. Okay, so it's not overdiagnosed. And the World Health Organization said there'd be a 70% increase rate. That was just so that they could fudge the numbers, make it seem as if there's not as much death happening as there is. And I've been talking about the dial long before any jab. I've already proved that one, so I'm not going to go over that again. Let's see what else I got up here. Oh, why are so many gray whales dying in the Pacific? This is from 2021. This new upsurge in the death on the Atlantic side, that's now because the radiation is traveling. And as a matter of fact, my king sent me an article where they're now going to release, oh my goodness, I have to show that. That is incredible. That is incredible. Here we go. And my apologies that I've not been going over messages. I'm really, really, really trying to build. Okay, here we go. There it is right there. Plans are in place to dump 1 million gallons of radioactive wastewater linked to cancer. Linked to cancer. Stop it. Making it sound like it's kind of iffy. Into Hudson River in New York State. Why the hell would they be doing that? Because they have methods to pad out the carnage so you don't necessarily notice the origin of it all. But I pay close attention. And because I keep screaming, beautiful people are also paying attention and sharing it with me. Thank all of you who do that. I need you. We need you. We are a united force. It doesn't matter if there's certain things I say that you're like, well, I don't know if I would say that radical. You got people in your family people in your family, you love them to pieces. You would die for them. And they say things on occasion that you're like, eh. But we got to work together on this one. Ain't no individual's going to survive this. Okay? You got to work with, we're about nation and real civilization. These dudes are about barbarity. Okay? So yeah, this right here, like I already showed you, those barrels in Japan have strontium in them. So that means they have everything else. They may say, oh no, it's mostly tritium. And I think they do in the article. That doesn't matter. It's still disastrous. Okay. So I think that, wait, where am I? Is that, oh no, I had to go over there. Okay. What was this? Oh, that's that. Oh, this is just the autonomy, just to show these people, they worship the bomb, where you could see with this picture, I got it over here, right here. Okay. They will turn trauma into a fetish because their brain is wired differently. Their pleasure centers are closer to also their fear and violence. And so I showed the pictures of how during World War I, they were manufacturing gas masks, even for horses and for dogs and for babies, and traumatizing them. That turned into a sexual fantasy for these dudes. So right now, when you see S&M, whatever the heck they have out there, bondage and sadomasochism, that's an echo from that trauma, from the fear of the gas mask. But it also harkens to the radiation because they have these suits for the workers, but they know they don't work. That's why now they just have paper suits.
It's called autoerotic asphyxiation.
Oh, thank you, King.
Autoerotic asphyxiation. That's their thing now. Choke me.
And there's all these German men who are dying because they put plastic bags over their head.
All over the world, Europeans dying from that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because the problem is that when you become toxic in your diet and your body, your sexual response is quite muted. So they need all these things to get off because the toxicity degrades your ability to really feel the pleasure.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's wild.
It's toxic. It's toxic.
Oh.
That's why, like Dr. Africa told us a long time ago, a lot of times you guys think you're horny. It's just them worms down there just activating. You're so full of worms and pathogens that's causing you to feel like you're horny. No, they just want to eat.
Sister Jai Africa put that in a comment that some other channel they have mentioned that the bacteria that are in your colon, up in your
guts,
in your guts,
around
and your anus,
because it's right near your reproductive system,
right?
And they will stimulate those areas.
Wow.
Yeah, and you think you horny? No, you just toxic, man.
Wow.
You full of pathogens. They squirming around in there. Because they'll set things off. They'll make you feel like you'll make a man get an erection, all type of stuff.
Wow.
Because they touch those nerves, and those are just nervous responses. It's not just your thoughts. Your body is responding to nervous input. So if the bacteria can set off something in you, it can give you an erection. Like for example, if your bladder is filled with fluid as a man, you can have you an erection.
Oh, that's
true. Why a lot of men get up in the morning with an erection. They're not horny. They got to take a leak.
And I used to get so flattered. I'm just
right. Horny. They got to take a leak. That's all.
Wow, that's wild. So we are never going to be taught to the scope and just width of what is real by these people. They don't teach themselves, and they don't really want to know the truth, the facts. I don't know, what was this one here? Oh, just going over the interesting history of Atom Age. I don't need to go over it now. And let's see, I want to make sure that I've covered everything, because I want to come up just like, once a week, because I need to write the next book and do that studying. But I think I got, and I remember there's one thing I wanted to show. It was an old video that I did. Let's see now. Is that it? Okay. Bear with me, family, while I search for this video. And I'm going to find it. Oh, maybe I won't find it because I might have taken it out. I thought it would stay up, but it didn't. Okay. Well, I'm just was referring to an archive video. I have all my archives where I stated what was going to happen, and I knew even less than I know now. I knew a farthing of what I know now. Now, a nuclear friggin' engineer could try to engage me in a conversation, and I would wipe him off the map as far as whatever nonsense he was putting out there. Okay? And so, yeah, that's the sum total. I said all I need to say, and let's see. Yep, I got it all. All right, let me come on over to you, family, and greet you and get on out of there. Get on out of here. So let's see if there's it's Brother Yapa. Oh, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for that article. As soon as I saw it, it kind of hit me. I was like, oh no, I got to do this right away. What? And hey. And so let's see. And Brother Nano John, thank you for always just keeping me going. You, brother, just a simple comment is just fortification for me. I love you for that because you're so consistent. And beloved Emil, the Resistible. And let's see. I think I got everybody. And Sister Jai Africa. How you doing? Let's see what you're saying, Sister Grundy here. But you are pretty, bro. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Queen, very much. I do all right. I can hang tough with my king. So that's because he's smarter than me. Trust and believe. He is way smarter than I am. And so sometimes he'll just leave me in the dust. And I'm like, well, let me catch up. And his whole family, actually, I've hanging out with him and his family. I'm like sitting there saying, I don't think I can keep up with these guys. I mean, just,
Please.
I'm serious. I ain't joking. I am not joking. So, okay, if I missed anybody, my apologies. Yeah. Oh, Brother Ali Hamid, how are you? You just cursed your children out and must listen to... Don't curse them out, though, brother. They'll hate me.
True. I mean, you got to go covered. All I would say is that cancer is not one thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is not, no, cancer is an umbrella term for a host of disorders that they can't deal with. All right, that's really what happens. Cancer mean like, I don't know what to do with this cancer. Right. So a lot of times they're misdiagnosing you. Also, so you have to account for the misdiagnosis part because there's a lot of misdiagnosis going on.
You were just talking about the pneumonia.
Yeah, because if you got a lazy doctor, they just gonna cancer. I see a lot of cellular growth and development. I don't know what's causing it. They'll throw you in the cancer. They'll throw you in the cancer box quick.
Right.
All right. Especially if you poor or whatever, they know whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to understand what you're dealing with here. When you're dealing with the medical industry and the terminology they use, they're speaking a different language than you. Always, because that's how they keep you in an inferior position. They use the language to separate you from them. And the language is necessary for them to have that superiority and to keep you in the dark. All right? That's what you got to understand. It's a secret society that you have to have. You have to go into this cloistered environment away from everybody, and they train you till exhaustion, literally. They test you till exhaustion, literally, because they're really just trying to filter out who's going to not break, but won't accept the programming. All right. Because it's all about accepting the programming and believing in the mission. Those that don't, they're gonna weed you out.
Because there's no repercussions for the trauma
of misdiagnosis.
Yeah. No, and not just misdiagnosis, but it fits in the misdiagnosis in terms of all the jabbing and the locking down. And now all of a sudden, they're admitting, this is that, and that's this.
Yeah.
But you don't see anybody being brought to trial.
No, because it's not that exactly. Because there's nobody going to be brought to trial for anything.
Exactly. Yeah, the way they set it up.
There's nothing going to happen. It's like 9/11. Nobody lost their job.
Oh.
In 9/11, the Twin Towers, the Pentagon, the crash in quote unquote crash in Pennsylvania. Airport, nobody lost their jobs.
Right. And that, if anything, would be
cats got promoted, if anything.
Right.
All right, so that shows you that, this is what you're dealing with. They want you to keep you in the dark, and they're going to make sure they can keep you in the dark, and nobody's going to pay a price for doing something wrong to you.
Right.
Or misleading you. Nobody's paying a price.
And they almost want you to be confused. Not they want you confused, but they almost want you to know. Yeah, we know you know the truth, but at the same time,
so I don't even want to hear it. Don't send me nothing about no white folks admitting how wrong. Don't send that to me. I don't care. All right, I'm not even interested. I don't care.
Right.
They're admitting that they admitting nothing. They going to do nothing. So what's the purpose of all of this?
Exactly.
I don't need their confirmation that I'm right or wrong. You need their confirmation. I don't need their confirmation about whether something's right or wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why are you going to the criminal for confirmation about something being honest? Come on, that don't even make any sense.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
But since you don't respect your own intelligence, it just shows a lack for your own intelligence. Because you think intelligence is given out inside of these school systems and these systems that the European has developed for you. You think intelligence comes out of these places. See? That's how they got you fooled. So you think anybody can take the test and repeat the shit back and then all I have that right and exact and get all the answers right is supposed to be intelligent. That has nothing to do with intelligence. That has nothing. 90% of that is memory.
Right.
Uh-huh. That ain't got nothing to do with intelligence. That's all about accepting the programming. That's all it's about. All right? So don't get fooled, and don't like I said, you taking their word more so than you take your own, what you see with your own eyes and feel in your own hands. That's a problem.
That's a
That's a
serious,
serious problem. That's a psychological, emotional problem.
Yeah.
All right. That's a big problem. All right. But hey, y'all got to deal with that. We trying to teach against that. That's why we've been having the classes, so that you can get a better, another way of thinking about things and perspective on things, and show you that you're the answer to all of your problems.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you need to answer your problems is already within you, but you're going to have to find a key to unlock it. That's what we've been trying to do. How long have I been having classes since November, since Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right.
Thanksgiving. Hardcore. All right.
Oh my, and the classes you teach are so detailed, informative, and
that's why they ain't released none. Because if you want to learn, you better show your ass up.
That's true. There
all right.
You go. There you go.
At least like I said, we think everything is going to be handed to us. You can't even go through the difficulty of carving out a little time for you to go to this class and learn something. Now, why would I be concerned about you?
That's true.
You can't overcome these little different. You can't take, if it ain't important enough for you to carve out a moment. You carve out a moment of your time to watch Empire, to watch the Soul Train Music Awards, or
right.
or whatever the NAACP.
I don't think too many people.
I'm not saying on this channel. I'm just saying I'm talking about people in general. They carve out their time for those things.
Right.
These foolish things you carve out time to make time to watch. But now you have to make some time to develop yourself. All right. Every day we're supposed to have a time. Not a work time. You work, that's over. Time for you to work on yourself should be planned every day. An hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes, whatever you got to do, start on you to build and repair you. Got to be dedicated every day.
Right.
All right. That means not watching TV, not on the internet, just hopping from place to place with a focused program of learning, whether you want to learn how to do something or how to understand something, whether you want to learn photography, how to paint, you know what I'm saying, something creative, or you just want to learn about something scientific. Maybe you want to learn about physics or astronomy, or you want to learn mathematics, or you want to learn biology, anatomy, physics, whatever you want to learn. You should put up some time in your day to do your own self-study and learn it. If you have no interest, why would anybody be interested in you?
Damn right? True. Daggone true.
If you have no interest, nobody is interested in you.
Right. And that's
it's not going to last.
Yeah, that's everybody.
Because that means you're depending on somebody else's input for your own self-value. That is a recipe for failure. Your own desire to learn and grow and develop at your own pace, or whatever you seek, whatever you see in this universe that you want to partake in, that is what's going to propel you and sustain you between whatever situation you're in. Because they're going to be ups and downs in relationships. She's going to cuss you out. You won't want to cuss her out. You're going to be, whatever's going to happen, especially when you're young, you're learning to develop these relationships. There's going to be periods of breakup, anxiety, and stress. Right? And if you don't have your own self to rely on, there's something that you like, things that you are engaged in for yourself and by yourself, then you're just a codependent. And that means you're bound to be frustrated and upset because you're relying on outside input to verify or give veracity to your life. You're a chump. Right? Male or female, you're both chumps.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to find a way to give value to your life yourself, because there's nobody else's job to do that for you.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? And they won't even come around you until you start doing for yourself. When you start doing something of value for yourself and your livelihood and what you're interested, then those people that of like-minded will show up.
Exactly.
Right? And you'll have the company that you need to execute the plan that you want to execute. All right, but this is more philosophical. I ain't even got to go into all of that.
That's okay. I was going with you, King.
I know it's boring. I know it's boring and stuff.
No, it's not.
Think about how you got to change your mind about stuff. Well, that stuff boring. Ain't no explosions in it. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no death-defying chases. No cliffhangers in it. Nah, I got to do it myself. You damn Skippy, you got to do it yourself.
Right.
Ain't nobody going to do it for you.
Right.
And you better start now. The sooner you start, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah. And all of it's connected. How you feel about yourself, and then those steps you take to improve your well-being spiritually, physically, intellectually.
Yes, emotionally, yes.
Emotionally, it all reverberates to greater levels of healing.
That's why we are our healing in our culture is holistic. We deal with the whole being. We don't just deal with a part.
Right.
In European science or Western, quote unquote, Western medicine, you got to go to a specialist for your foot, a specialist for your right toe, a specialist for your left finger, a specialist for one eye, a specialist for your pupil, a specialist for your iris. You know what I'm saying? That's all silly. They're trying to tell you that all these parts are disconnected. No, all this is one part. This is one body.
Oh, you would think that they would just sort of like, why do we have everything still cut
up? Exactly. They do that first. They do it for monetary reasons to ensure their profits.
Right, because they send you. I gotta send you to
the specialist.
To the specialist.
So you got you go through the GM, the H. What's they call it?
The general practitioner.
Yeah, you got a general practitioner to go to for what? Your checkup, I guess. And then if you got something wrong with your elbow, we got the elbow specialist, and your nose is stopped up. We got the ear, throat, and sinus.
Throat, and sinus. Yeah.
And if there's something wrong with the bottom of your foot, we got a podiatrist. If it's your ankle, we might have somebody else to deal with that. Right. All right. If you got a problem with your uterus, then we got a gynecologist for that. Like all these parts are disconnected.
Right.
You can't just have a problem in your uterus and not have a problem in your brain.
Right.
That's impossible.
Right.
All right. It don't work like that.
And I love the way that you put it, and others have expanded on it, where when you get that white stuff on your tongue in the morning, that I just used to think that was natural, but it's not just on your tongue. It's all the way
down
body.
into your guts. It starts from your intestines and grows through up your esophageal tract and all the way into your tongue.
Yes.
All right. So that means you got an overgrowth of what's that, candida, I believe.
And so how is cellular function going to happen immediately?
And that means that you're suffering from, and that means you don't have enough oxygen in your body too, because it can't grow. If you've got oxygen, it's not going to grow. Whoa. That means it's robbing oxygen from your body, which means it's destroying your immunity. Because things that rob oxygen from you destroy your immunity to things. It lowers your immune response.
Oh, that's deep.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what is up. That's why I made the brain. That's why I made that pulmonary formula. Because a lot of people, you're right, are having CPOD. A lot of people are having lung issues. And so I put together a pulmonary formula just for that. Because I know if you ain't breathing right, nothing's working right. You on your 1 foot out the door. All right. And we know that the dairy is going to clog up all of your bronchi. So you're going to have a hard time breathing. Milk, cheese, butter, those things are cloggers. So they're going to clog up you see the little picture of the lungs? Just click on that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You see all that? Those little those little branch-like, those are the bronchi. So those are going to get clogged up. And that's how you get oxygen into your bloodstream. But those you see how big they are, but they got little tiny capillaries at the end for absorption of oxygen and blood, because it transfers through those capillaries the oxygen into your blood. All right. Then it goes down into it goes from the heart, depleted oxygenated blood goes from the heart to the bronchi and back on around, back to circulate all through your body and feed your cells and take away the carbon dioxide that the cells produce as waste.
Right.
All right. So that's what's going on. So when you have a compromised lung system clogged up with dairy and nonsense like that, and milk and cheese and fat and butters, just literally look at what it does. It's going to clog everything up. And it depletes, and it's a hard, and bacteria and pathogens feed off of that stuff. So that means you're going to, just by eating that stuff, you're lowering the amount of oxygen in your body, because the bacteria that feed on that stuff are nitrogen fixators and destroy and grow in environments that don't have oxygen. Right? To go in a nutshell, yes.
Anaerobic environments.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
so,
right.
yes. Anaerobic.
Anaerobic
environments.
Okay, right. Not tropic.
Yes, anaerobic environments, not aerobic. We need aerobic foods and things in our bodies, not anaerobic. So no yeast.
Right. And
no, yeah.
you reminded me, and I
No
wanted
breads
to,
either. Like really, breads.
well,
Is really
they
not
have
good
the
for you.
yeast
Yeah.
and they have the
Yeah,
gases in
breads.
there.
Yeah.
But I took my king's advice, or I'm going to say Dr. Z because that sounds more professional. But I took Dr. Z's advice on, because I used to use nutritional yeast, and I stopped taking it, and everything. I ordinarily don't have any clogged nose issues, but just slightly. There was always one side of my nostril that was a little more clogged than the other one. I don't have that issue anymore at all. And I already ate healthy. So these little changes have and eating these things that you think have no you have no problem with them whatsoever. When you remove them step by step from your life, because I've been eating healthy now for well over a decade, it still can move you to a higher level of healing.
Absolutely. We stepping up our game. All that old stuff is over. Literally. We got to go into a whole new level of looking at this health thing. Just eating plant-based, whatever the hell that means, is not going to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have to understand, we have a different physiognomy, I guess the word would be. Physiology. Yeah. We have a different physiology than the Europeans. All right. We are oxygen, we are aerobic based, and they are more fermentative, bacteria, nitrogen based people. All right. So when you take that yeast, it's going to block up your ability to digest, and it's going to feed the pathogens. So usually when you have a sinus problem, you really have a gut problem. If you have chronic sinusitis, it usually means your gut is clogged up. That's what's going on. That food you're eating, you're backed up, you're constipated, you don't have it, you got a lot of putrefied worms and pathogens and fungus, all that stuff in your gut that ain't coming out. And it's clogging up your ability to digest. So it's letting you know by producing all these histamines and clogging up everything. Your nose, your sinuses.
Ain't that
and the European told you you're clogged up in your nose, so put some nose drops in there. Yeah. Right. That's masking the problem.
And yeah, you take it as a given that this is just a natural you. And no. Like, I just got a busted up cough.
You got to go to the gut. All right. That's why I made the gastro, the GI Sweeper Plus. That's why I made that, because you're going to need to clean them guts out before any healing is going to take place. You're going to have to clean them guts out, change your diet before any healing takes place. Let's keep it real. And that's why I made the real detox kit, so you can get everything in one shot. And then I'll send you the instructions on exactly how to to execute that cleansing. I call it detox, so that's where it's a cleansing. All right? It's a cleansing. You're going to cleanse the cells, the digestive tract. You're going to help cleanse the liver.
And that's the thing, is to get these blocker things that are blocking absorption out.
Exactly. You're going to move the constipation out of your body.
Right.
That's basically what a detox is, because you need mucus. I don't know what kind of silly scientific crap these guys are talking about. Mucus is the source of all disease. That is utter nonsense. Every organ in your body is coated in mucus. Which I open you up and a dust cloud comes out of you. That's a dead body. I cut you open. These all your organs are covered in moist because they're covered in mucous membrane to protect them.
Right.
So you need mucus in your body.
Right, because it's hard for anything to get a foothold.
All right.
If it's slippery and that's what it's there for.
That is a mucus coating. All right. It's a mucus coating. You have mucus membranes in your body. All right. So you need the mucus because you're not dry on the inside. All right.
But it's a different quality.
It's a different, but see the body produces more mucus because it's trying to push the pathogens out. That's what's happening. It's trying to trap the pathogens and move them out because they ain't coming out your ass. So it's going to try to move it through your nose or through your pimples. Or you might come out as a discharge, which you might call gonorrhea. All right. Literally, it's going to move the stuff out of any pore. It might come up as a boil. These are toxins coming out trying to get out of your body. That's all it is.
Sister Queen, I know who I am. You said, is certified organic dairy bad too? Oh, heck yeah.
Yes, all dairy is bad for you. You do not
Yeah.
have the it's called a, wow, I'm just losing my words right now. You cannot digest the lactose, put it like that. You don't produce the enzyme to digest any animal dairy. You produce the enzyme to digest your mother's milk up to a point, up to about 3-4 years old. After that, you can't even digest your mother's milk. But those Euros, they can digest milk at a longer rate just because of the way they epigenetically grew up.
Right. I imagine the ones who could survive would have to be able to ingest whatever nutrients they could get, because Europe is so
it was devoid. Exactly.
Right.
They would. That's where the term barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen really comes from, because they would keep their women pregnant so they can feed off of their milk.
Ooh, that's right. You told me that, and that was horrifying.
That's what they did. They kept them pregnant so they can get the milk for sustenance, to live.
Milking their women.
Oh, it's worse than that. Children would steal women. Gangs of children would steal women to nurse, to have a supply of milk. Gangs of women would steal pregnant women to have a supply of milk for their gang.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me that link one day. So
I ain't got no link. This is history.
Okay, that's
history. How they work.
Okay, all right.
But that's why they can. That's why they have lactose tolerance. Usually, Europeans have lactose tolerance because they were really we feed it off of that for a very long. We didn't need that.
Wow. Right. It was abundant.
We didn't need that. We had fruits and vegetables and plants.
Right.
Sunshine to nourish us.
And
literally.
Agriculture.
And sunshine, literally sunshine to nourish us.
Yeah, that's true.
Because our skin you can feed off the sun literally with your melanin. All right. But hey, you want to follow them? Be my guest. You want them to teach you about health? Be my guest. You're going to end up like them. Sick, diseased, dying, full of fermentative bacteria, acid, plenty of chronic digestive issues. Joints that's what aching. You're gonna end up at. That's what you're gonna end up. Sorry. You got to come through here now, fam. Sorry. You got to come this way to get where you gotta go. You got to come through here.
Yeah, because they're never going to change. They're never going to fess up.
No.
All they'll do is marginalize on the surface those who are exposing them.
Oh yeah, they'll come through here. Quiet. They'll come through here and steal, because they steal everything. They got their works they done stole from us anyway. Let's keep it real. Everything in their medical field, their works they done stole from us.
Right. Now, also, Queen, I know who I am. You asked about kimchi. At this point in time, kimchi is Korean, and it's the spiced up fermented cabbage leaf. I don't think that's not grown coming from the sea. So I don't see any problem with kimchi. And Korea actually has, I don't know where you're getting your kimchi from. That's the thing that
kimchi is really, it's not vegetarian, just so you know. The way they make it is not vegetarian.
I thought they put all the chilies in it and, just make it real spicy.
There's kimchi is vegetarian. The regular kimchi is not.
And you know what? The Koreans, man, they love that meat. They eat everything.
A lot of seafood and everything. So
and a lot of pig. My God.
So read the ingredients on your kimchi.
Yeah, that's true. Read the ingredients. Yeah. Research the origin.
I mean, you can use it as for its ability to give you those bacteria, the gut bacteria.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That might be why
as a probiotic substance, or you can use pickles.
Pickles. I think some people they like that spicy.
I know. I'm just saying, you can spice up a pickle. No problem. They got spicy pickles too.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, but I mean, so if you want that, you can get that easily. But just read the ingredients.
And I just want to. I don't know if kimchi has it, but I know that natto is a Japanese food item that has a lot of vitamin K2, which is really necessary.
What's natto made from?
I don't remember what it's. Oh, it's soy. It's like rotted, really rotted soy. And I understand it tastes nasty.
Pass on that one, bro.
Yeah, pass on the natto. But you can get a K2 supplement because I don't know if the kimchi is what also.
If you take care of your body and eat properly, you will produce more nutrition for your health.
I agree.
Now, then you can supplement. Then you can do fewer supplements. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Or you can be more selective in your supplements. That's what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, but I want to say something when you finish saying what you're saying.
Since you're so depleted, you're going to need every little bit you can get because you're jacked up.
Well, but the other thing is that their farming practices, even on the organic farming,
are nitrogen based.
Not that they're not just nitrogen based, but they're just terrible. They're not strategized for increasing an abundance of nutrition, and they don't have any labels to tell you.
Yield.
Yeah, they go for crop yield. There you go. Exactly. So they're not going to tell you that, well, our soil is deprived of nutrients, even though it's organic. We don't use anything like that. We also still are on poorly fed soil naturally. And a lot of them don't practice, techniques where they encourage bugs, the helpful bugs that then die and replenish the soil and provide the plants with nutrition.
And they probably use fecal matter for
there you go.
That's a big problem right
That's
there.
still considered organic.
Supposed to use that.
Yeah, but they'll use cow dung or whatever other type of dung. Soy is bad, Sister Queen. I know I was just wondering about the kimchi. What might be attracting you towards it? And I was just wondering if maybe it was the K2 or that people are touting it as a beneficial food item, in which case, yes, there are other alternatives, as my king was saying. And so let's see. The farm workers, they don't provide bathrooms for them. They just piss and poop right where they are. And I'm not mad at them for that. You got to do what you got to do. But at the same time, it's got everything in it. Who knows what they've got?
It's organic.
It's organic. Don't even wash it. Just eat it.
Yeah.
Right from the supermarket. Yeah.
But yes, kimchi is just cabbage. I mean, you really don't. Cabbage is better cooked. Put it like that.
That's true. That's right. The cabbage.
You want to steam your cabbage generally. It's not really. It's got a little goiter. It's like a goitrogen. So you only want to steam it. So some things,
some things have to be steamed.
To break, because they have anti-nutrient stuff that's actually against your life in them, because plants don't want to be eaten. Fruits you can eat, but plants generally don't want it. That's why they produce fruit.
That's why the fruit is there. It's like, please eat this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But even they protect their fruit sometimes. That's why a lot of fruit have hard shells and stuff like that, because they want to reproduce too. So that's why some fruit you got to fight for, or nuts you got to fight for. You know what I mean? That's where the power's at, in that seed and that fruit and that seed. That's where the minerals are at. Generally, those are the most power packed part of the plant.
But I do want to say that you have at 25,000 year cycle list, the food list, what you can eat.
Oh yeah, please use the food list.
And what you can eat. And it's on point. It's on point.
Absolutely.
Because different items I've also just given up slowly, step by step. And when Dr. Z will first mention it, I get a little bit resentful. I'm like, what do you mean? But I like broccoli.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, but then he mentioned, you ever throw broccoli in the garbage and what starts reeking within a day or two?
Yeah.
The broccoli, it stinks.
It even take a day or two. It could be overnight.
Yes, but no other vegetable do we throw into the garbage can, and that happens.
It's gas coming off of there.
Right.
It's gassing and it's rotting and it's rotting.
It's nitrogen.
It's taking it's robbing oxygen from your guts, sitting in there, turning it into funk. That's what the gas does. The gas has to displace something that's going to displace the oxygen.
Right. So all of these
anaerobic,
utilizing all of these things, I found it much, much easier to maintain my weight.
Yes. Because you're not swelling up with the gas and because you're not eating them. These foods that you're literally allergic to.
Wow.
So you bloat up and you fat up and your face gets fat. Right. You know what I'm saying? Your arms get swelled up because all it's producing is food for your pathogens So your pathogens are getting fat.
Uh,
Everybody getting fat.
and
You know
they're
what I'm saying?
gassing off inside
Exactly.
your
That's
body.
why you're puffy. That's why you're puffy like
That's
that.
why a lot of people, their sweat smells to
Yes,
high
and well, the food, the meats and stuff also have a lot of toxins in them, and they'll come out as stink. All right, all those dyes and stuff and perfumes they put in that milk to mask how terrible they are. They start peeling off, and the smell of the food is going to come out. That's why your feet get funky. That's all the toxins coming out of your body.
And you're making me think about how you can't just think, oh, well, the worms are in my intestines. When these pathogens and worms, why would they just stay in one place?
No, they go everywhere. They go into your joints. You say it's rheumatoid arthritis. They go into your eyes. You call them cataracts.
And glaucoma.
Exactly.
Right.
They go into your brain. You say, oh, he's just getting little bit of dementia. Because your synapses literally stop firing. You start getting headaches and stuff like that. I mean, they take over your urges. I mean, you are a zombie.
Wow.
You're possessed.
So when they show the zombie movies, it really is happening, literally.
You got to send an exorcist in for you. And I'm the exorcist. You got to call an exorcist. You got to call me to exercise that stuff out of you.
Right.
Literally. That's what time it is, man.
Now
we're taking a whole nother look like this at this thing now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's not in How to Eat to Live.
Right.
It's not in Jethro. It's not in Back to Nature. What's that? Back to Eden. It's not in that book. I don't know. Eric, they ain't right about it. Dr. Sabi ain't right about it. Dr. Africa ain't right about it.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to come to us. Sorry, we the only ones talking about this. Literally.
I know.
But you want to hold on to these old ideas.
Yeah, not old people, but old
ideas that have to be. Even our way of thinking has to be constantly updated.
And in great respect to our ancestors and all those mighty ones, it's not diminishing what they did.
No,
it's that
it's the baton is passed.
Exactly.
That's what's going on.
And we're expanding upon what they put.
Of course, we have to look at what they did. And did that work? Nope. Did that work? No. You got to discard what don't work.
Right.
And find things that work. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
Who's beyond examination?
Nobody.
You got to be examined. People got to go through examination.
Right.
If it don't work, it don't work. It's all right.
Right.
All right. If I get in the car and it turn on, the car's not running, it's not running. You gotta go get it fixed now. Right. I can't sit in there and keep playing with the ignition and
but I really
putting the air in the tires. I really want to go. Yes. No, you're gonna have to fix it first. All right? It's not working. So that means you gotta take another approach. Right? Yeah, any seaweed and sea vegetables are literally off the table.
Off the table.
For safety's sake. I mean, they had good features in them, but I mean, you have to be very, 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 very selective about what you're done with.
Yes.
Right now, unfortunately.
It is unfortunate.
But that's what life is about. Yeah. It's changed. Like, 10 years ago, cool. 15 years ago, cool. Get you some dose, get you some wakame, knock it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about that.
No.
Like if somebody, look, if you have a river and a lake or a stream by you or a well, and you get everything from it, you're feeding your crops, you're feeding your family. What happens if something goes and dies in that well? Can I drink from it now?
Oh, if you like cholera.
Yeah, exactly. You can't drink from that well no more. Something happened. There was a disaster. Somebody died. Somebody dropped a damn cow in there or something like that. And that well is now festered and sored and toxic. You can't drink from it no more.
Right.
So you got to find an alternative now, right?
Right.
You can go dig another well. You ain't got to buy. You ain't got it, but there's plenty of other herbs and vegetables that's still safer for you to eat.
Right.
So you move to the alternative. That's all you got to do.
That's all it is.
That's
and
all we
when
do.
I see
the white boy, what they call it in the tech world, a pivot. We just making a pivot.
Yeah. And when I see them pushing the CMOS so maniacally in the Black community, and it's been documented time and time again, they target us. I'm like, nah, this ain't good. This is not good. So that's all that I'm saying on that one. So let's see what you're saying, Brother Yapa. This is a little off the subject, but Another train derailment in Ohio. They had another shelter in place and possible hazmat situation. Smartest people in the room, huh? Exactly. And when I look at the fact that these train derailments are happening, I know it's part and parcel of their trying to hide the jump off, the origin of everything that's happening, so that they could say, oh, you got cancer? Could have been that train derailment. Could have been those chemicals. So, yeah, and I'm not saying that it won't be.
I'm just saying could have.
Yeah. But the thing is that no one in all of the animals that have died, all of the sea life that has died, the billions of creatures, as of this point.
There's no derailment in the ocean.
Yeah, there's no derailment. Ooh, there you go. My king just said it. Yeah, and they never, ever, ever mention Fukushima. So there you go. So let me get on out of here and just say my greetings and my love to Brother Dietary Productions. It's good to see you. And again, to everybody that I greeted at the outset, this has been a joy. I'm just generally a very at peace person, but when I can be of service to you, that makes my life sublime. It makes it absolutely wonderful. So thank you to everyone who came on through and contributed in the chat room to our greater understanding. And thank you to my king.
Peace, family. Peace.
For just adding the essentials. Okay. So yes. And thank you, Queen. I know who I am, for mentioning the Cash App. The Japanese housewives have a lab where they are testing food. If they could do it, dang damn it, I could do it too. We could do it too. And we must have it because of everything that I keep on sharing. I am not up here just passing off my opinions. It's documented. It's down. Nobody else is talking about it. I would start questioning big time. Why not? Why not? That makes no sense. Okay, so I love you very much. Thank you so much, Queen. All right, I love your family, and I will see you in like a week or just maybe a couple days less, because I am getting that work done. So let me put this out here. And what was it? Oh, Straight Black Family Pride. And we are on the road to forever. Peace and blessings, everyone.